You could hear that whistle blowing on old engine 29. Feeling the romance of the steam and the steel. Listening to the rhythm of the clicking rail car wheel. Everybody loved her and they waved as she went by, blowing steam from her belly and smoke into the sky. The people would be waiting at the stations along the way as she rumbled past Belle Isle and Cumberland Bay. We were riding on the Norton Chipman line. You could hear that whistle blowing on old engine 29.
It gives me great pleasure to be opening this Museum and Information Center. 3 years ago, it was my wish that the old CPR station be restored before it was destroyed. And as you can see, we've done a fair job. It was a special interest to me, as I come from a railroad family. As most of you know, my dad worked on the CPR for 44 years. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge some of the former railroad workers who have been invited, and some of them are present here this evening. First, John Miller, Jim Casey, sitting in the car. Jim's sitting there, he can't get out. Mr. Victor Swift, who couldn't make it with us this evening. Gerald Casey, I believe Gerald's in the crowd, an old railroad man. Bill Brock, here tonight. Harry DeWolf, section man from Ripples. I don't know if Harry's here or not. And Vincent O'Leary. I'm sorry, Vincent couldn't make it tonight either. To complete this project over the last 3 years, it took a lot of work on council and a lot of meetings and whatnot to get what we have today. I would like to give a special thanks to Councillor Angelo DiCarlo for his special interest and help. Also a special thanks to the village staff with that little extra that they always have there to give when we need it. Thanks to all the people who donated the artifacts of the railroad and the mining museum. Lionel Gerard and Jimmy Richardson are to be thanked and congratulated for the excellent job they've done. They put a lot of time and a lot of effort into the mining museum. And we should be proud to have volunteers of this type in our community, because they are certainly a great asset to us. 1902 or 1903, and built all those spur lines, and to build a spur line from the other side where the station was, cleared Hardwood Ridge. Now everybody argues that was CN, but it wasn't. It was initially built by the Brunswick Railroad in 1906. You cross New England, cross the slope, you would clear to the ridge. But eventually, and then it served the big slope, eh? Mm-hmm. That's the big slope up there, see? At the slope road. But eventually, they had their own engine at first, burnt on them actually, and but eventually they bought it from CP, and then Minto Coal leased it from them. Then they leased all the cars and the whole 9 yards. It was the only place in Minto that the coal company offered a passenger car to haul them into work.
Yes, sir.
It was parked up at the slope road for a long time. That's where Mary lived. She was 10 or 12. You remember that old passenger car there? The Minto Coal, they'd go down about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They'd bring clear down to the liquor store, load all them in, take them to work. That afternoon they'd bring them back.
Convenient.
Yeah, and that was CN right down through there, right to the CP main line. And what they had at the main line was what they called a frog. The frog threw the car engine off the track.
Yes, sir.
You had to get permission and a key to unlock that frog to get on the main line. Matter of fact, somebody let the air out of one time up there in the 1938 or 9, my father told me. That engine come down through there. And when he hit that frog, it upset. That 1939, I think it was. That hit the frog or hit the derailleur.
Yes, sir. It worked.
Oh, yeah.
We will have the unveiling of the sign by Councillor DiCarlo and Councillor Peter Miller. This is the official name of our Minto Museum and Information Center.
But that's when, and CP didn't come in here till 1923.
Yes, sir.
And of course, they bought out the Brunswick Coal and Railroad, which was owned by the government, and we got a 99-year lease on all the sidings there and whatnot. So, on the other side of the station, I seen pictures. It was a roundhouse that kept the engine in at night, and he said no, there was a 3-engine roundhouse there. So no, I just thought there was a one. No, you know, he dug me up pictures and showed me that.
Wow.
3-engine roundhouse. A picture of that roundhouse. And there's the shed, the freight shed. It only shows one track. It's the freight shed. The water tower. See this station, Minto Station up here?
Mm.
This is a water tower they had there, and they got the water from the Gilchrist Brook. That one there is just like I said, one of them engines coming in. Of course, those engines were 4.60s. The fellow that run that 29 was a fellow by the name of Johnny Myers.
Sounds local.
Well, did you know Leonard Myers?
No.
Worked the plant? No, it's his father. See, those had to be light engines because they had light bridges between Norton and Chipman. So they had 3 light engines, and that was one of the lights. There's another light engine, the 136, because they had to take them out of order. Every 2 or 3 months to clean them all up, the boilers and everything. So they had to have spare engines.
Give me a spade and I'll give you a hoe. Hoe! Way-o on the railroad, dirt on my brow but steel in my soul. Way-o on the railroad, picking up coal and we're picking up speed. Shovel as much as the engine needs. Sweat and blood gonna earn my pay. All the way to Frisco Bay. Blowing through hills trying to make up time. Way-o on the railroad, ain't nothing gonna stand in the way of our line. Way-o on the railroad.
Johnny Myers run that old 29 for around 30 or 40 years. Then they put him on that diesel. He just got on. He just stayed on the week and quit. He didn't like diesels. That's the last train in Minto, right there. 1985. And it's got parts on it for the 8200. And I think that was taken right out here somewhere. And we'll right on through to Midlands. So that's the last train in Minto.
And we're picking up speed. Shovel as much as the engine needs. Ain't no slave, but we slave away. All the way way to Frisco Bay.
Boss man says that the holiday's the pace.
Way-o on the railroad.
I'll make 2 for the look on his face.
Way-o on the railroad. Picking up coal and we're picking up speed. Shovel as much as the engine needs. Ain't no slave, but we slave away.
I now declare the Minto Museum and Information building officially open.
They is trying to plan which route is best.
Way-o on the railroad.
Draw a straight line from east to west.
Way-o on the railroad. Picking up coal and we're picking up speed. Shovel as much as the engine needs. Ain't no slave, but we slave away. All the way to Frisco Bay.
Spare no quarter and we'll spare no man.
Way-o on the railroad.
Just pray we don't run into the Cheyenne.
Way-o on the railroad.
We're riding on the Norton chipping line. You could hear that whistle blowing on old engine 29. Feeling the romance of the steam and the steel. Listening to the rhythm of the clicking rail car wheels. Everybody loved her and they waved as she went by, blowing steam from her belly and smoke into the sky. The people would be waiting at the stations along the way as she rumbled past